Hello everyone, this is Sunniva and you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and welcome to another Every Game in a Collection video. It's been a while since I've done any of this because I'm back to working 100% now, full time, so I don't have as much free time anymore, but let's dive into some games. Over there we have the first game of today. It's Modern Art, and I've heard tons of great things about this game. This is a game that always keeps coming up, like in different art styles, or people just talk about this game, and I have played it once. It's so long ago, I don't remember anything, but I remember that I didn't think it was really interesting, really, so I clearly have to give it another shot. So this should actually be moved up to the shelf of shame. I feel like I need to give this game another go, another chance to probably decide if I actually like it or not, because I think it's some art and I think it's like some auction stuff or set collection, but yeah, as you can say, I haven't got a clue what this game is about anymore. It's been so long, so I clearly have to play it again. Next up we have Isle of Skye, and I really like Isle of Skye. I didn't the first time actually, because I was presented to it like this is kinda Carcassonne-ish, and I really like Carcassonne. I think it's a great game, and this at first it felt like Carcassonne just made more fiddling, but the second time around I played it, so the game is about this ish Carcassonne like tiles that you place with roads and different buildings and animals, and the way that you get these tiles to like your own play area is that you have your own tiles in front of you that you could, it's kind of your market, and then the other players also have that, and you choose one tile that you're not going, you don't want this tile in the game, so you're removing that, and then you decide what you think that your tiles should cost. So you place your own prices for the tiles that are yours, and when then it goes around and around, and players can buy each other's tiles. So if it's a really good tile, then I would be like, oh, I think it's worth to give you that kind of money, and if I want a tile to myself, I just have to hope that nobody else buys my tiles, and then you place them out in your tableau. And what I really like about this game, I think the buying of each other's tiles are cool, but what I really like is the different scoring. So it's 4, I think, scorings, or 3, I don't remember, in the game, and they're like, in first round you score like scoring A, B, and C, and then you score B, C, and D, and then you score A and D, and then B and C. So it's like you have to time yourself to focusing on the right things at the right time. I think it's a great game. It's not complicated, and it plays fairly fast, and it's got a lot of variability because the buying and stuff is so alive. It's got much interaction, but also the scorings are really interesting. Next up is Majesty for the Realm. We saw this demoing it as Essen, and it was fast and it was fun and it looks beautiful. And it's basically having a stack of like a row of cards that are buildings in your town, and you want to collect the right people to live in your buildings. So a green dude can live in a green house, and you want to have like a lot of green dudes, and then maybe they give you scoring for the red dudes. So you kind of want to get the special bonuses and also score and get the right, it's getting a lot of combinations working actually. I don't know how else to explain it. It's fun. Next up we have La Isla. I think that is a Stefan Feld game, is it? I have to check. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I really like La Isla. It's one of his lighter games, and it's a multi-use card game where you're trying to travel, like explore an island and getting taking control over areas so that you can catch animals, and what the like different animals are worth like depends from game to game. So they changed up, so you're trying to catch the animals that are worth the most. And yeah, it's just a pure fun game, really simple. Next up we have Star Wars Carcassonne. That is my favorite Carcassonne, Star Wars edition. I just really like that the most, but it doesn't get played a lot anymore. Next up we have one of my favorite games. No, it's not. Raptor. I have to play it again. I've only played it once because when I first played it, I was really new to board games still, and I tended to be a really sore loser, and somehow I just decided that I was going to lose because I didn't really get the game. It's one person is playing the scientist and one is playing the dinosaur mom, and she's trying to rescue her kids from these scientists. And I was just like getting really touchy-feely about these tiny dinosaurs babies running around getting captured. And this is super silly, but I haven't played the game since because of that. I got really upset, so I need to play it again. And this time I'm better at gaming, so I think I will have a shot this time. Okay, so next up we have number 9, and this is one of my actually favorite short amount of games when we're thinking of like ending the game night or having a quick filler between some games. My mind like almost instantly goes to number 9 because it's so simple and it's so fun. So number 9 is a game about numbers. So you have these kind of number shaped tiles with like if you have like the 5, then it's shaped like a 5, and you're trying to build them upwards, but you can only build upwards so they like match on top of each other, and you have to build like on top of 2 tiles, not only one, so you can't like have a 0 and match the 0 like right on top of it. And you have like 3 restrictions otherwise, so you're trying to like build a base first and then just stack the numbers on top of each other. So it's a puzzle game, and you get drawn, the numbers get drawn like it's the same for everyone, and it's totally random, so it's get different every time, and it's really interesting to see how the players like try to figure out which way is the best to place. And number 9 is just pure fun. I recommend it. It's so fun, like perfect filler game. Then we have Las Vegas, and this is a family game, and I actually gave a copy to my family because they liked it a lot when we played it. This is a dice game, so you're throwing dice and you're trying to make the most money. So each of the casinos has like a number, like a die on them from 1 to 6, and when it's my turn, I'm rolling the dice, and if I get 2 2s, for example, and that's every one of my 2s, then I can place all of my number 2 dice at the number 2 casino, and the next time I re-roll my dice and I have to place all of my dice of one number on the specified casino. So you have to like which one has the most amount of money? Do I want to go for that, or do I think it's gonna be competition, or oh, I really need to go in these both casinos now, should I try for one and try to get lucky later? So super simple and very enjoyable as well. Then we have Flick 'em Up. I didn't really get a gist of that because I'm really terrible at like these flick things. I'm super terrible at every dexterity game I've ever come across, I think. But Flick 'em Up is definitely one that I've not been very good at, and Johannes is so good at them. It's super annoying. But Flick 'em Up just looks really beautiful with all the components, so I really want to play it. And I think when our nephew gets older, then we can play it with him, and it's gonna be more fun to share with him. Next up is QE. I think we've actually done a review of this. I can't remember, but it's one of the newer games in our collection. It's a quick game. Yeah, You could say that for most of the games on this shelf, actually. It's a really interesting auction game where you can bid whatever you want. There's no like physical money, there's no money restrictions. You can buy something for 10 million billion dollars or 0.0001. It's weird. Well, the thing is that you want to bid on these items, and you can collect them in sets or in types, and they give you points in the end of the game. But you don't want to be the person that has spent the most money, kind of like in high society. And then you're out of the game. So you have to try to figure out, okay, what did the bids go for? And the thing that makes this interesting, it's that the only one that knows what all the bids are and what is the winning bid is the one that like auctioneers the item away, and that goes around and around the tables, so you don't have all the information and have to try to figure out what like kind of leeway you have on money to spend. It's interesting, and actually for an auction game I like it, surprisingly. Next up we have Trap Words. I haven't played it. Johannes has. It's supposedly super fun, so it's kind of charades-ish, I think, but you have you play in teams, so the team that is not doing the charades or kind of alias thing is like listing up some words that they think you're going to use to describe the thing that you're going to guess. Oh, words, yeah. And then you have to try to guess what the words are and try not to use them, so they're trap words. Then we can go over to the Grizzled. That is a really serious game. It's a game about war, and it says here, can friendship be stronger than war? And this is a game, it's fairly fast, it's a co-op game, and it just makes you feel hopeless because it's so hard and you feel like there's nothing you can do, and you're playing like in rounds, and every round you have cards on your hand that you want to get rid of, but there's a lot of matching things, so they're matching like bullets, helmets, and weather outside, and you're trying to place all your cards, but it's really difficult because when like 2 cards have snowy weather on them, then you have lost that round, and you get a lot of penalties if you do something wrong, and you get really depressed, and what do you call it, you lose motivation or morale, I think, and it's just a bummer of a game, but it's good, and but it's not always. I'm in the mood to play like a gloomy game. Then we have Codenames Dude and regular Codenames. Codenames is super popular and it's a solid game. And we played Codename Dudes on a whim at a shop, just trying it. And I actually thought it was quite fun with this co-op version. Yeah, you have to check it out. There's so many Codenames games at the moment, but this is the ones that we have. Next up we have Decrypto. It's a game over here. That is a beast of game. I don't know. Is it a party game? I don't think you could play this at a party, but it's kind of like in the same genre. The thing about this is that it's super complicated, and it's really a hassle to get into it because there's so many new concepts. You're basically 2 teams and you're talking in code, and you have like a code with 3 or 4 words, and you have teammates that you have to like hint to these words with other words, kind of like alias or trap words, but you don't want to make the hints so obvious that the other player guesses the code, and vice versa. So it's really interesting, but the games to this, like the rules to this game are massive to learn because there were so many new concepts. It got really confusing, but once getting into this game, it was super fun. It's so unique and so innovative. Then we have Escape Tales: The Awakening. This is one of my favorite escape room games. We love escape room games, and this was the most, I don't know, I think authentic escape room games that I played at the time when we played it. This is a story heavy escape room game. The story here is superb. I think we've done a review of it. Yes. And it's really dark. It's like paranormal and just a very gloomy, mysterious story that you are like kind of dragged into. And in these escape room games, you have like, you are in locations and you have to use time tokens to check out different places at the location, and then you can find puzzles like in an escape room, and solutions and like helpful things to drive the story forwards and get you through it. It's said that you can replay it, but and like experienced multiple endings, but we tried replaying it once and it wasn't that exciting, so I think this is a one-time thing. Next we have Gunshot Clever. This is one of many roll and write games, and Johannes plays it a lot at the app. I think I played it once. I thought it was okay, but there's a lot of roll and writes out there, and this is my favorite. Then we have Bricks. Yeah, this is another roll and write. I don't remember a lot about it. It's more a Tetrimino style, crossing out Tetriminos that they're falling down. I think that was okay as well. And then we have this little box right here. This is Zombie Dice. This is a super easy filler. You push a luck, rolling dice, and then you're trying to not be eaten by zombies. And wait, you are a zombie. I'm kidding, you are a zombie. You want to eat brains to get points, but you also don't want to be shot. Yes, that is the thing. Then we have Good Cop, Bad Cop, and that is one of my favorite party style games. It's social deduction, bluffing. No, it's not that much bluffing, just the hidden information. You have 3 cop cards in front of you, and if you have the more good cops card, then you are a good cop. If you have more bad cops, you are a bad cop. If you can also be the kingpin, the leader bad guy, or the chief of police, I will call it. Yeah. And you're going around and around looking at each other's cards, trying to figure out who is on your team, who's the kingpin, and who are you trying to kill. And when you think you figure it out, you can point a gun, and then some other guy can point the gun at you, and then you have some special cards, and it also are some expansion to the game that mixes it up as well, and it's just pure fun. I really like this. Then we have Shot and Totten. It's a 2-player game that is kind of set collection with cards, and you're trying to have this border, and you're trying to expand your land, and you're trying to do it the fastest. So you're trying to have the winning cards on one side of the border to move the border, and it's just fun. Yeah. I don't play it a lot, but it's a neat design and it goes quick and it's enjoyable. Then we have, I'm moving over here now. It was empty over here. These 3 games, Nautilion, Onirim, and Castellion. I've not played Castellion, so I cannot talk about that, but I've played Nautilion. I didn't think it was that fun. Maybe it's only for, it says 1 to 2 players. Yeah, all of them are 1 to 2 players. But Onirim, I've played a lot, and also on the app. And that was actually quite fun. You're stuck in this nightmare or something, or a dream, and you're trying to find some doors, and you're also trying to find keys to the doors. and you're crafting a key with like different symbols. Like I think it's a moon and a sun and a star, and you're trying to do it the fastest possible before these nightmare creatures come and take you. And that's the end of the video. As you can see, we have a lot of like smaller family style, easier party style games down here that doesn't get played a lot, but it's nice to have like everyone's cup of tea in your collection, I think, so you can play a little of this and a little of that. And until next time, I'm Sunniva, and you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.